Thank you. So I'd like to start by having everybody stand up. If you're not able to make a couple steps and you just want to take a seat, you feel like you just don't want to step, that's fine. Okay? You need about enough room to make 1-2 steps forward and then 1-2 steps back. Okay? So make sure you have that room. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to do a full 360-degree rotation counterclockwise. Okay? After that, we're going to take 1 step forward. Okay? Then we're going to do a 180-degree rotation clockwise. Okay, and then we're going to take 1 step back. All right. Now, the idea is we need to do this in the opposite order. Okay? So we just took a 1 step back. Let's go ahead and take 1 step forward. We did a 180-degree rotation clockwise, so now we're going to do a 180-degree rotation counterclockwise.
I am not right.
Okay? We took a step forward, so now we're going to take a step back. And then we did a 360-degree rotation counterclockwise, so now we're going to do a 360-degree rotation clockwise. Okay, so everybody can take their seats. All right. We will all see where exactly that comes into play in a second here. The objective of this lesson is that we will be able to solve a 2-step equation by the time we're done here. Okay. In order to stimulate some kind of idea that we already have, remember that an equation is always meant to be balanced, correct? So for instance, if I had x plus 1 equals 10, right, we want to have the image that we have the beam balance in our head. Okay, so remember from grade school what happens if we take 1 away from the left side? What do we have to do?
Do it to the other side.
We got to do it to the other side. Just like if we took 1 ball away from the balance beam here, we'd have to take 1 ball away from the balance beam here in order for it to stay level. So we would do the same thing here. -1, -1. All right. So any questions about that? We're all mathematicians. That's awesome. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to look at here is how we create the equation itself, a 2-step equation. So imagine that you start with the variable x. Right? We can all remember our days in high school where we had to deal with the variables. X is multiplied by 2. Okay. Then we add 6 to that quantity. And we make it equal to 10. Okay? So I'd like everybody to find a partner and tell exactly what we did to x. Okay.
Okay, so
Equal to 10, right?
Yep. So 2 times whatever.
All right. So pretty straightforward. We're going to turn this into a diagram to help us out. Okay. So here's x. We start by multiplying by 2, and we arrive over here at 2x. Then we take 2x, and we add 6, and we end up with 2x plus 6, which equals 10. Now, just like we did the opposite operations from our beginning activity where we did counterclockwise versus clockwise, stepping forward, stepping back, the opposite of adding 6 is what?
Subtracting 6.
Subtracting 6. So let's take our arrow back here, and we're going to subtract 6. What do we get if we subtract 6 from 10?
4.
4. Okay? So up here we have times 2. We're with 4. And what do we get if we do the opposite operation of multiplying by 2?
Divide by 2.
We divide by 2. Okay, and what happens if you get 4 and you divide by 2?
2.
You get 2. Okay? Does that work?
Does work. Yes.
Okay. So I'd like everybody to take out a fresh sheet of paper, or you only need about half a page. Let's try this method. Okay, we're going to make this diagram. And we're going to try it with this problem right here. 3x plus 9 equals, let's go with 27.
Okay, so you want us to use that diagram.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start with x. We're going to decide what we multiplied by. So there's your times 2. Then we're going to be over here at 3x. We're going to add 9. Then we're going to be at 3x plus 9 equals 27. And then we're going to work our way back with the opposite operations. Does anybody need any help? Okay, so in the interest of time, I know that probably wasn't an adequate amount of time, but let's go through this together and let's use the same diagram. Okay, so what's the first thing? Let's get rid of this. What's the first thing we did to x?
Multiply it times 3.
Multiply by 3. Okay, and if we multiply by 3, we end up with how many x's?
3.
3 x's. And then after we multiplied by 3, what did we do to x?
Add 9.
We added 9. Okay, so if we took 3 x's and then we added 9, we end up with
3x plus 9.
3x plus 9. And somehow that ended up equaling 27. Okay? Now let's go in the opposite order. So the opposite of adding 9?
Subtracting 9.
Subtracting 9. Okay, and if we did 27 minus 9?
18.
18. Okay? Now we have 18. What is the opposite of multiplying by 3?
Dividing by 3.
Dividing by 3. And if we take 18 and divide by 3, we end up with 6. Perfect. Stellar. Stellar class. All right. Let's see where we can actually apply this in the real world. We're going to move to the farm, and we're going to talk about a farmer and his sheep. So a farmer looks at a pasture, and the pasture is full of sheep. Farmer doesn't know